Show you some footage from a police dash cam, and you are not going to be able to look away. It's dead of winter. This is Minneapolis. A traffic stop goes bad while the video rolls. This driver, you're seeing right there, he says this police officer jacked him up and beat him down for no good reason. The police officer says otherwise. Now, we're going to pick this thing apart right after you watch both sides of this incredible story. Here is Janelle Klein. She's from our affiliate CARE, K-A-R-E, in Minneapolis.
It was a traffic stop like many others. 42-year-old Daryl Jenkins pulled over in February as he drove through North Minneapolis, stopped for speeding as he allegedly went 15 miles over the limit.
I was very nervous. Very nervous. Very, very, very nervous.
The stops all here on this 7-minute tape from the squad car of Officer Richard Walker. Jenkins says Walker refuses to explain why he was stopped, and he asks for a police supervisor. When Walker says one isn't available, Jenkins says he gets out of the car to get his driver's license from his back pocket. That's when he says Walker tries to tackle him. Backup arrives and 6 officers help Walker as Jenkins is punched, kicked, and stunned 3 times with a taser. Police claim Jenkins was uncooperative, that he smelled like alcohol and slurred his speech. Jenkins says he drank 3 beers with dinner that night, but insists he was not impaired, and repeatedly asks, "What did I do wrong?"
All I remember was getting out of the car, getting thrown down, and feeling the punches. And those last words were, "I can't breathe."
Jenkins says he next remembers waking up to paramedics with cuts, bruises, chipped teeth, and permanent damage to his thumb. He spent 4 days in jail, but says he's never thought the arrest was racially motivated.
I don't want people to think, black person upset with the police. No, this is a people issue.
It's incredible that they would have the audacity to do what they did.
Paul Edlin is Jenkins' attorney and says anyone who doubts his story need only watch the video.
His palms are outstretched, they're flat. He's not in a combative position. He never bear hugs the officer. He never swings at the officer, never punches him.
But worse than the beating, Jenkins says, was being criminally charged, accused of a felony for assaulting an officer. Walker has never wavered from his version of the arrest, insisting in court hearings his actions were justified. And 9 other policemen at the scene that night back up Walker in official reports. But Edlin says those too are an injustice.
I think you can clearly see from the video that what happened was not right. And then writing reports that are false is not right, and there should be accountability for that.
A judge agreed after watching the squad car video, finding Walker had no reason to suspect Jenkins of DUI and dismissing the charges against him. But Jenkins says he may not have been so lucky without the tape, and that others who don't have proof on video could be the victims of police.
They just did that way too easy, and then lied about it, and then tried to cover it up. That's the kind of stuff that scares me.
Got some reactions coming in already on this. Let's go to our Twitter board if we possibly can. That's Lou Palumbo. He's our favorite law enforcement expert, and he's going to be joining us here in just a little bit. He's a retired police officer. Go to the Twitter board if we can. Start from the bottom with Xana Dax, or whatever that says. Normally, I side with law enforcement. In this case, I side with the guy who was beaten. Way too excessive. All right, let's stop it there and bring Lou. You agree, Lou, with this, that it may have looked a little bit too excessive? And I'm trying to figure out, is there a rule in law enforcement that if a person gets out of their car, you have to pick them up and throw them to the ground?
No, I don't believe that rule exists. And quite frankly, it would appear that this police officer unnecessarily escalated his contact with Mr. Jenkins. You know, the response, Rick, of the other officers who responded in support of the police officer, that's kind of like a contagious response. You know, what they apply there is a swarm tactic. But this whole video, from start to finish, is perceptively horrifying. They do not teach us, and I would like the public to know that, to employ these tactics in any progressive or intelligent law enforcement community. They do not teach us to kick you. And my real concern here is that we're now creating a typecast of what your car stop could be with a police officer. I frankly think that this one individual officer decided to, how would you say,